Okay, so macam mana persediaan semua setakat ni?
Contoh soalan lah.
Yang soalan-soalan yang kita bagi tu persediaan dia on the scale of 0 sehingga 10, berapa banyak persediaan dah buat dah?
6 kot.
6. Ada yang confident 8 ke 9 ke? Okay, so hari ni today we're going to just go through roughly some of the questions which were raised during the orals. I'm not sure who the examiner is going to be. There are 3 potential examiners currently for Malacca. One is, of course, Captain Samad himself. Second is the director untuk wilayah. One is one of the marine officer from Pejabat Wilayah Tengah who previously was in the Sabah Marine Department. So either one of those 3, or maybe more than one, will come to finish off all 24 of you within the period of 1 or 2 days. So sebelum oral ni saya nak lalui beberapa soalan-soalan yang telah kita serahkan kepada kamu sebelum tu. Before we do this, before we go into all the questions and all that, this happened in November. In November, off the coast of India. Now, look at the layout. Look at the 2 ships there. Siapa yang biasa berlayar atas kapal mungkin akan boleh bayangkan apa yang berlaku sini. What kind of situation do you think this is?
Collision.
Yalah, collision, but what kind of situation as per the rule?
Crossing.
Yeah, most likely it's going to be it was a crossing situation. And then if you look at this the area kan, it's open sea, tak ada kapal lain kat sana kecuali 2 tu. Yang ni memang tak boat, ni boat yang datang untuk macam authority-nya boat, and this was probably like a bunker boat. You have banyak sangat ruangan kosong tapi masih lagi boleh berlanggar. So what do you think is the cause of this? Well, this is the cerita tentang insiden ni lah. This was the Aviator and the Atlantic Grace. Okay, this happened off the coast of India after bunkering. Okay. One ship slammed into the other of about 12 nautical miles from the of Oka in Gujarat. And of course, in this case, this one happened at night. So maybe that's one thing that is the cause lah, sebab tak nampak kapal tu, cuma nampak lampu tapi tak boleh nak identify lampu tu dengan jelas, and that's where the accident happened. Okay, so if you look at this situation, okay, this vessel went into the bigger one. The bigger one I think is Atlantic Grace. Okay, this bigger one. The other one is the what do you call it? The Aviator. Kalau you tengok this situation, this just roughly, you think which vessel is stand on, which vessel is give way? Yang besar ke yang kecil give way?
Both.
No, it can't be both. This is a crossing situation. One will have to be give way, one will have to be stand on.
From my screen here, I think the small one patutnya stand on. So
yes,
he's right. Lepas tu, kalau tadi pada gambar mula-mula, the big one turn
give
to
way.
port. Turn to port, itu masalah dia, I think.
Turn to starboard.
This is the Atlantic Grace.
Kalau dia ikut screen lah kan.
So most likely the Aviator was on the Atlantic Grace starboard side, which means that she is the give way vessel. This is the stand-on vessel. Of course, we can't assume, but if you ask me to make a guess, she probably made the turn a bit too late. Okay. All right. So sometimes this kind of thing happens, especially at night. But the investigation will also have to check on, number 1, was the radar on, proper monitoring of the radar. Number 2, this ship on lampu yang sepatutnya. Mungkin lampu dia tak letak dengan clear, but that does not, dia tak akan will not absolve this ship from being a giveaway vessel. Sebab she still could have monitored the radar and identified that there is a risk of collision. So most likely this vessel will be found at fault lah. Tapi kita nak tahu juga apa yang kenapa lambat sangat, kenapa sampai boleh berlanggar macam ni, and this vessel, the aviator, kenapa dia didn't take any action to avoid the collision. Okay, remember, even though you stand on, you masih lagi, kalau giveaway vessel tak buat apa-apa, it's still your responsibility to try and clear the other vessel. Yeah, you cannot just wait. Okay, right. Okay, next. Right, soalan-soalan ramalan, bukan soalan bocor. First thing, on the chart, okay, where do you find nombor 1? Mana nak jumpa nombor chart ni? Sebelah mana?
Bawah, belah kanan longitude. Yeah.
Nombor chart. This is the chart. Excuse me. This is the chart. Okay.
Dekat situ lah.
Biasa nombor chart akan ada dekat bawah sini. Of course, your chart is photocopy. Tapi kalau sebelah belakang pun biasanya akan ada nombor chart dia. At the back of the chart, normally they also have a chart number. Okay. So this number, nombor chart dia. Kalau BA tu tandanya apa? MAL tu tandanya apa tandanya? Apa menandakan apa? What does BA stand for? What does MAL stand for?
British Admiralty, MAL Malaysia.
Okay, so BA is the British Admiralty version of the chart. MAL is the Malaysian version of the chart. Okay. Kita boleh guna mana satu? Walaupun dekat perairan domestik. Kalau kita nak guna, mana satu kita nak guna? Kalau soalan dia tanya.
MAL kot. Inshore for.
Which one can we use if the question asks, okay, you got
Both?
choice. Which one can you use?
Malaysia.
Okay. Yang lain?
Jadi, kalau kita belajar di Selat Melaka, better you use Malaysia lah.
Okay. In actual fact, you can use either one. Tapi of course, it's kalau you nak jimatkan sikit, of course, this will be cheaper. Okay. As opposed to PA chart. You can use both. Dua pun boleh, no problem. Okay, tapi bila you pakai, make sure this one happens. Proper chart correction. Okay. Sekarang ni now is easy because the chart correction, the notices all boleh download daripada internet. Okay, berapakah skala carta? This one done. How do you know what's the scale of the chart?
1 by 20,000, 200,000.
How do you know?
Chart
Ada dekat
information.
Ada kat chart.
Dekat chart tu, di bawah tajuk tu dia akan letak skala dia. Remember, this is what happened last batch. We borrowed them 6. Bukan, kita pinjamkan
6.
We didn't borrow the chart. We borrowed them parallel. That means definitely there'll be chart work involved. Okay, they will probably have the chart. You will have to demonstrate. So, tahu mana skala carta? Di bawah nama ataupun tajuk. Okay. Below the name of the coverage area of the chart. Macam like what were the chart you were using, apa tajuk dia? Ada yang masih ingat lagi?
Pelabuhan Kelang Melaka.
Okay, coverage area adalah from Pelabuhan Straits of Malacca, Pelabuhan Kelang ke Melaka. Bagaimana nak tahu sama ada kedalaman adalah dalam meter ataupun fathom?
Tanda M. Tanda
Once again, pergi kepada coverage area of the chart, nama area tu. Dekat bawah ada nota-nota dia. They will indicate that it is whether it's feet or not in meter ataupun fathom. Most of the time, kalau BA and MAL chart is all meter lah. Tapi kalau you jumpa chart yang hitam putih tu, those are most likely fathom charts. But in our coverage area, banyakkannya majority, almost if not all, is meter chart. The depth is in meter. Manakah maklumat pembetulan data terakhir, the chart correction? Mana?
Bawah
This is
sebelah
the
kiri.
Itu
line.
ada bawah sebelah kiri cat.
Bawah sebelah kiri sini will be the information tentang pembetulan chart this area dia. Okay. Right. Namakan simbol-simbol. This one you kena tengok you punya chart, kena tahulah mana, what does it mean, apa tu crack, apa tu isolate, drying height. Okay. Macam mana you tengok apa yang dimaksudkan dengan isolated danger buoy dan sebagainya on the chart. So spend some time on your chart sebelum oral tu. Okay, look at every single part yang mana kamu tak pasti. Right. Namakan jenis buoy di atas chart. Contohnya lateral, cardinal, safe water, special mark, isolated buoy. The last batch when in KK, which apabila oral, mereka buat oral hari itu, it was the question tentang buoy adalah satu, kalau kamu masuk pelabuhan, apa yang kamu nampak, apa lateral buoy yang kamu nampak sebelah kanan, apa lateral buoy yang kamu nampak sebelah kiri. And then kadang-kadang soalan ditukar pula. Apabila keluar daripada pelabuhan, buoy apa yang kamu nampak sebelah kanan, buoy apa yang kamu nampak sebelah kiri. Do not get confused with this trick question. Remember, going in, green to the starboard, red to the port. Coming out, green to the port, red to the starboard. Boleh ingat?
Itu aja safe dia lah, ingat itu ya.
Just that only. Going in, lateral boys, okay. Hijau sebelah kanan, merah sebelah kiri. Keluar, terbalik pula. Hijau sebelah kiri, merah sebelah kanan. Jangan keliru tentang tu. Dengar apabila dia tanya, sama ada ditanya, kamu sedang masuk pelabuhan atau keluar pelabuhan. Okay, if you're going in or coming out. Alright. Okay, next question. You are heading this way. Sebab tiba-tiba nampak isolated danger buoy kat sini. In front, right in front of you. IDB. What do you do? Kat depan, direct depan. Sepatutnya kamu buat asset planning tu tak mungkin lalu terus menghala ke isolated danger buoy. Tapi kalau tiba-tiba dapat position, lepas tu tengok kat luar, isolated danger buoy right ahead, what do you do?
Slow down the speed,
Yeah, and then
look at the chart and move to your starboard side.
check your position, verify your position. Okay, slow down, verify your position. Kalau kamu rasa tak pasti lagi, just stop the engine. Okay, stop the engine. Make sure that you are 100% sure about your position, and then decide whether to alter which is the safest part to clear over on the port side ataupun starboard side. Ataupun kalau kawasan sekeliling dia ni semua nampak macam bahaya, reciprocal course. Sebab kawasan yang kamu masuk ni selamat. So follow the same route that you came in from. You could have basically got a wrong position. So this area could be, even though it's isolated, tapi mungkin kalau check, ini position ni tak cukup kedalaman dia. Okay, so quickly, okay, alter your course, go back on the reverse course. Because why? Kalau you tak pasti dengan position, follow back the route which you came in from. Sebab kamu tahu kat sana itu selamat sebab kamu dah masuk dah. Okay, dah sampai sini. Okay. Right. That's why I say, be careful bila kamu nak gunakan position dengan GPS ni. It may show you a false position as opposed to kalau kamu gunakan radar range dengan bearing. Okay. Right. Apakah simbol-simbol? Yes.
Berapa clearance area sebenarnya? Circumference from the buoy keliling tu apa? Berapa biasanya?
It is not indicated. Dia kalau if it is a large area, okay, if it is a large area, dia akan gunakan cardinal buoy so that you avoid that area. Okay, kalau isolated danger buoy biasanya is a small like a rock ataupun wreck saja.
Okay.
there is no indication tentang berapa jauh daripada isolated danger point is the danger. Tapi kalau kawasan tu luas, if it is a wide area, normally dia akan gunakan cardinal point
Okay.
to guide you which is the safer water area.
Okay.
Alright.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Apakah simbol-simbol bagi pilot station, anchorage area dan submarine cable? Tahu? Magenta. Let me cari warna magenta supaya senang. Okay. Pilot station. Like this. Diamond. Lepas tu anchorage area.
Sama-sama.
The one next to me, at the back of me, that anchor signal. Okay. And submarine cable.
Garis keriting.
Okay. Be careful. Submarine cable area. Strictly no anchoring at the submarine cable area.
Berapa radius ya?
Cable tu biasanya normally it won't be more than macam, I think it's roughly about meter lah, tak ada lebih dia punya lebar daripada 10 meter.
So the safe area tu kita radius daripada contohnya
Cable.
daripada
Cable.
cable and cardinal buoy ni. Berapa safe area dia?
Kalau cardinal buoy, dia tak tunjuk mana-mana as long as you pass on the safe side. Submarine cable area, normally dia tak akan bergerak lah because it is on the seabed. Tapi you have to be careful that mungkin the chart, number one, lokasi dekat chart is not exact as per where it is, number one. Number two, maybe you punya position pun lari sikit. Betul tak? So you get these two error. Okay, you may think that you are away. Mungkin you tengok, oh tak jauh, ni kita dah mungkin 20 meter daripada submarine cable area ni. Drop anchor je lah. Tiba-tiba drop anchor, tengok satu Melaka tak ada elektrik.
Dia ada tak gazetted area ROW? Something like that.
Gazetted area untuk
macam submarine cable ke anchorage area ni?
The anchorage area memang dia ada limit, dia tunjuk kadang-kadang limit macam ni, anchorage area. Garis-garis yang tak bersambung ni, macam ni.
Dia macam harbor
macam harbor limit. Alright. Anchorage submarine cable tak ada macam tu. Dia cuma tunjuk mana submarine cable tu. So basically there is no indication of what is the range of the submarine cable. Ada submarine cable kecil, ada yang besar. So ideally you should keep away as far as is practicable if you want to anchor lah. In any which case, kalau you nak anchor pun, normally there is a designated area. Kalau you nak anchor dalam kecemasan, then you have to keep as far away as this lah. Kalau dalam kecemasan you tengok, semua kawasan ni ada submarine cable, nampak macam mana? Kalau betul-betul dalam kecemasan, you need to drop anchor and you see all around ada submarine cable ni. Cakap gasak lah, jatuhkan je lah. TNB kan banyak duit kan. Biar dia sambung balik kan nanti. Betul lah. Submarine cable is not only electricity. It can be, what do you call it? It can be other forms. Yeah, a lot of other forms. Try and keep as far away as possible. Itu je. That's the only thing I can advise you. Because there is no hard and fast rule. Dia tak ada indication berapa jauh and all that. All that I can tell you is kalau dalam kecemasan, perlu juga anchor. Okay, anchor as far away as possible from the submarine cable. Okay, there's no hard and fast rule how far away you have to anchor from them. Okay, yang berikutnya, bagaimanakah untuk tanda posisi kapal sekiranya menggunakan GPS dan bagaimana nak tandakan posisi kapal kalau guna radar punya bearing dan juga range. How do you mark your position?
To GPS.
A, B, C.
Plotting punya apa,
A untuk
simbol. Untuk GPS.
A untuk GPS, dan B pun kan mereka pakai untuk GPS. Tapi, tapi radar range and bearing selalu macam ni. Okay. Don't mix the symbols together. Sebab nanti orang tengok chart tak tahu kamu dia ni ambil position ni pakai apa? GPS ke, position and position pakai radar bearing ke, radar range ke. So you need to differentiate on the chart mana satu, what kind of type of position you're putting on the chart. Okay. Apakah maksud WGS 84? 84.
World Geographic Data.
Okay, World Geographic System 84 is the type of surveying which they use in order to determine the position. In GPS, okay, the system uses the WGS 84. Most chart pun gunakan WGS 84. Okay, right? So it uses a standard datum. Kenapa? It uses a standard datum sebab permukaan bumi kita ni, the Earth is not an exact circle. It is like an slightly elongated punya size. So the datum is not standard in all places, tapi they use one standard. What do you call it? Datum with regards to the positioning of latitude and longitude. So sometimes what happen is kalau kamu pindahkan chart dia from one type of chart, let's say WGS 84 to WGS 84, you pindahkan position, let's say a different datum, let's say North American datum, I think that's 82 kalau tak silap. Okay. When you tukar position, you kena adjust the punya position. They will tell you how much you need to change. Kalau you punya, what do you call it? If you're changing a different type of, so the position tu have to be adjusted according to the datum. Right? Okay. Next question. Bagaimana untuk mengukur jarak ataupun distance di atas chart? Oh, ini senang lah ni kan?
Long latitude coordinate.
Always use the latitude because latitude is basically the latitude is the one that will give you the exact distance. If on the equator, latitude and longitude will give you same distance.
No.
On the equator.
On the equator, yes. Tapi bila you lari go further higher, difference is too much. So distance has always got to be from the latitude side. Okay. So remember, it's always latitude. Walaupun you say, yeah, but we are very close to the equator and we take the distance almost the same. Yes, correct. Tapi the principle is wrong. Prinsip dia tu salah. Okay. Right. 11. Kenapa tidak sesuai untuk gunakan garis bujur sebagai jarak distance? I just mentioned just now kan, tentang why? Because of the difference as you go further north, the longitude does not correspond to the distance. Manakah maklumat variation di atas chart?
Terus.
CER. Mana?
Compass rose.
Okay. Ingat Cristiano Ronaldo, you tahulah. It's on the compass rose. Okay. Apakah maksud deviation? Okay, apakah punca berlakunya deviation di atas kapal?
Magnetic field.
Bahan-bahan yang mempunyai kesan magnetik kepada kompas kapal. Okay, where can you find the deviation figures? Maklumat deviation kat mana?
Deviation chart.
On the deviation card, not chart. deviation card. Right? This deviation card will normally be posted on the bridge. CARD, bukan CHART.
Oh, dia boleh
Okay.
tukar.
So deviation card, not deviation chart. Alright. Di manakah? Okay. Now that we reach the variation and deviation, now I have to tell you that kalau you kena Captain Samad, guarantee you will get this question like this. He give you the true cost. Okay. He give you the either variation,
Motivation.
deviation, or he give you the compass error. Okay. He will ask you to tell him what is either the magnetic cost or the compass cost. Ataupun dia akan reverse benda ni. So that's why that understanding is important. I know the other day I stopped a bit earlier with regards to this, but it's again, I repeat again. Okay, remember the terminology of error east, compass least, and error west, compass west. Okay, do back a few of the exercises which we gave about tentang variation and deviation. Right. Di manakah maklumat berkaitan dengan carta dan kawasan yang dirangkumi oleh carta? Okay. You will find it in the chart catalog. BA chart ada katalog dia, and also even MAL chart ada katalog dia. And katalog ni sama macam pakaian punya katalog, it's free ya. So kalau siapa-siapa nak cuba jual kamu chart katalog tu, suruh dia simpan benda tu, because it's free. Okay, people don't sell the chart catalog. They only sell the charts. Chart catalog is for you to choose which chart you want. Okay. Jelaskan maksud lookout di dalam rule nombor 5, rule number 5. If you cannot memorize kesemua sekali, okay, memorize the keyword. When talk about lookout, what is the keyword here? Boleh ingat tak? Bila disebut pasal rule nombor 5 dalam ROR berkaitan dengan lookout, what is the keyword here?
Visibility.
You should maintain lookout not only by sight, bukan saja menggunakan pemandangan, not only by ears, hearing, pendengaran, tapi dengan by all available means. Maksudnya semua cara yang ada kamu boleh gunakan, peralatan, baik peralatan ataupun any apa-apa saja yang kamu nampak. Contohnya radar is all available means, binoculars is all available means, okay. AIS is all available means, in order for you to determine whether there is any ship around. That's the responsibility ataupun tugas kamu sebagai lookout. Okay. Jelaskan maksud safe speed di dalam rule nombor 6. Okay, what's the keyword here? Apa kata kunci ni dalam safe speed?
Maneuverability.
Avoid of collision.
Maintain maneuverability.
Safe speed ni maksudnya you have to be at the speed which is appropriate in order to
Maneuver.
avoid any risk collision dalam action kamu. Contohnya, kalau you nak slow speed, kalau tengah bawa safe speed, kalau ada berlaku satu risk of collision, you sempat lagi nak boleh gunakan speed tu untuk dikurangkan, untuk mengelakkan daripada pelanggaran. Okay. Right. Apabila hendak gunakan traffic separation zone, apakah peraturan yang perlu diikuti? Jelaskan dengan ringkas keperluan TSS dalam ROR. Ini adalah macam soalan yang saya bagi hari itu yang pertama sekali. Boleh gunakan sebanyak masa yang boleh. Sebab TSS ni banyak maklumat dia. Okey. Contohnya tanya, okey, jelaskan tentang keperluan TSS dalam ROR. What are the things you have to claim? You boleh gunakan banyak masa ni.
Rule 10.
Okey, rule 10. Apa yang dia kata dalam rule 10?
Join at the slightest angle.
Kalau if you are approaching the TSS, you as far as practicable, you join at the termination of the TSS, sama ada dekat tempat permulaan ataupun tempat berakhirnya TSS tu. Okay. Tapi kalau sekiranya kamu tak dapat nak join dekat tempat-tempat permulaan dan terakhir ya, kamu join dekat tengah-tengah. So bila you nak join tu, pastikan kamu join pada sudut yang paling kecil sekali. Kalau yang kalau dibandingkan dengan arah trafik pada TSS tersebut. Okay. Yang kedua, apabila kamu nak lintas ataupun nak cross ke TSS, nak join lain, angle yang paling kecil. Okay. Nak cross,
Yes, angle.
90 darjah.
as close as possible at right angles. Okay. Sudut 90 darjah kepada arah traffic zone tu. Kalau katakan apabila kamu gunakan TSS tu, haruslah guna lane yang betul. Apabila kamu berada dalam TSS, the separation zone, sebaik yang mungkin kamu harus elakkan kawasan traffic separation zone tersebut dan hanya gunakannya sekiranya berada di dalam kecemasan. Bukan kamu gunakan separation zone tu apabila kamu nak relax, nak tangkap ikan sekejap. That's not the purpose of traffic separation zone. It's actually a no-go area. It's only for like emergencies and all that. Sekiranya kita tak nak guna TSS tu, apa yang kita harus buat? Kalau TSS ada pemberian kita, tapi kita kapal kecil, we don't want to use the TSS. As far as is practicable, kita cuba avoid sejauh yang mungkin TSS tu. Supaya orang dalam TSS tak keliru apa yang intention kamu tu. Tak ada dalam TSS, tapi nampak dekat-dekat dengan traffic lane tu. So you might confuse the ship in the traffic separation scheme. Okay. Can you overtake kat dalam traffic separation scheme tu? Boleh overtake tak?
Boleh.
Boleh, tapi be careful. If you are the overtaking vessel, you should remember that by virtue of ROR, rule apa? Overtaking, you have to keep clear of the other vessel. Okay. Right. Next, terangkan tentang lampu-lampu biasa di atas kapal bagi kapal biasa bawah 50 meter. Okay. Kapal layar, kapal not under command, restricted ability to maneuver, constrained by draft, kapal aground, kapal anchor dan kapal yang mancing menggunakan trolling ataupun pukat tunda. That one tadi Cik Jimmy dah bagi kamu summary which I attach. All the info ada dalam PDF tu. Okay. All those information tentang lampu, lights and also the shape ada kat dalam tu. So sekarang you got 2 days more. Setiap kali pergi duduk mana-mana and all that, open this document for a while. Look at the lights, look at the shapes. Okay, for you to remember. Hari tu yang kena adalah dalam course kat KK tu, banyak keluar adalah berkaitan dengan not under command, restricted availability to maneuver, and apakah kemungkinan kapal-kapal sekiranya kamu nampak satu lampu putih saja. What are the possibilities? Okay. Okay, apabila sebuah kapal tunda sedang menarik ataupun barge, apakah lampu yang harus ditunjukkan? Apakah lampu yang perlu dipasang pada barge yang sedang ditunda? If you are towing,
Kuning.
normal underway one. In addition to that, yellow light sebelah belakang. Okay. Other than that, on the tow itself, the barge itself,
Green, red, white.
okay, side lights and also stern light at the back of the barge. If the tow is contohnya very short and all that, normally we would advise that at least a white light to indicate that she's under tow, so other ships can see clearly. Okay, that's the tow. Right. Dalam keadaan restricted visibility, okay, apakah isyarat bunyi yang perlu digunakan?
One long blast,
Okay. One long blast every how many minutes?
2 minutes.
Every 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, what is the meaning of stand on dan give way vessel? Okay, just now we did already. Looking at the incident yang tadi itu. Dalam keadaan kecemasan blackout di atas kapal, apakah langkah-langkah yang perlu dilakukan? Ini tinggalkan kita Jimmy sekarang. Okay, what are you going to do in a blackout situation?
Never panic.
Kamu?
Generator, use a generator.
But I think that before that you just said blackout, whether nighttime or daytime, you see. So then sometimes if your kalau kapal tidak ada emergency generator, then what do? You know, like I mentioned in the lecture time, you check the wiring, check whether any the fuel was it going onto the generator, sorry, for fuel going onto the motor or not, and all this, you see. So you got to go back to leakage air, or is it the cooling system, is it too hot, you know, then change the filter itu semua. It's all in the notes there, you can refer that there are different steps. Kalau yang berlaku masa malam, then if your ship is not fitted with this emergency lights or what, make sure you have a standby torchlight and some batteries. Your torchlight must be waterproof also. Yeah.
So what is the first action need to be taken?
Okay, first action, I think once if there's a blackout, check your position. See where is your position. Take note of your position.
Is it to be calmed down or we have to jerit there? This is the first thing. The oral question is very subjective. So what is the action? That this question is very open.
Yes.
We have to follow the flow. What is the first, second, third, and fourth?
Okay, I think the first action you should do is to take first thing. Don't panic lah. Like just now you all mentioned, you know. Then check your position. Determine your position where you are now. You see.
Okay.
Fix lah, kita buat fix lah.
So sorry.
Fix, we make
Position fix.
fix the
Yeah,
position.
fix the position. If can, if kalau cap is too deep, then you cannot drop anchor or whatever. Then you cannot fix your position, because after a while your boat will be floating out. You see. Yeah. Okay. If there's if your kapal is fitted with emergency generator or there's an emergency battery, then make sure that those your alat emergency, like your radio, your radar, and all these are working, and your emergency lights are on. See. Okay.
If you refer to the note, saying that we have to check the engine how it works.
Yes.
Is this true? Before
Yes.
we proceed for the generator, because I want to know the sequences of the process.
Okay, like I said, the first step is like you say, don't panic. Then determine your position. Then you follow by to determine what causes the blackout. You know. Then from there, you then has in the notes. You check the engine. You see whether is it overheated or there's no fuel going to it, and what is the cause. It could be a wire terputus or the spark plug is dirty, or what is the cause of the engine that is not or the engine has stopped. You see, and subsequently because of causing the blackout.
The bigger ships kan, kalau you naik kapal yang besar, normally when there is a blackout, either the emergency genset kicks in automatically,
yes.
But the smaller vessels won't have this capability.
Yes.
So you will have to actually manually switch on your emergency genset ataupun your emergency battery to get some of the critical equipments running.
But I was made to understand not all ships will have emergency. I mean, for the smaller ship, they don't have emergency generator. You see.
Yeah, it's emergency batteries.
Even emergency battery might not have, right?
So the smaller one, kalau tak ada, then you actually have to go and troubleshoot the problem with the genset.
The engine, yes.
Yeah, with the engine. Okay. I
What
Kalau
are those?
ada,
Sorry, what about those vessels that don't have generator and happen at night? So what do you do?
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, yes, you don't have emergency generator or also emergency battery. You don't have because it's a small vessel. So that's why make sure that your boat is equipped with these torchlights. You know, then from there at least you can like the same process apply. You check where is the cause. Is it the fuel or is it there's a loose linkage or your safety switch has been accidentally being pulled out? That's why that there's a blackout and your boat was suddenly stopped like that, is it?
if you're on a long voyage, right? Seeing with regards to the type of ship and your voyage and all that. If you're going on a very long voyage, you have to think about this. You want to go out and sail, let's say, on a long voyage without a backup power supply. Right? If you're close by, okay, you're just going out, let's say not so far out from Lacquer and all that, then coming back, it's just let's say just few hours in the man. If you're going on the long distance kind of thing, right? You definitely want an alternate source of power supply in case anything happens. Especially for your communication equipment. In an emergency, you need to call somebody. VHF, like in our case, right? The bigger ships, the VHF and the communication equipment has its own DC power supply. Meaning when it's on AC, right? The power supply, the DC power supply, the communication equipment is being charged. If there's a blackout, automatically you can switch to DC and you can still use your communication equipment. Right? Other than that, I would say lights, lantern, and all that. It has happened to me before when I was sailing, going out of Port Klang. Blackout. At the same time, the emergency genset didn't kick in. Apparently, there was hardly any maintenance, and then the emergency genset was also defective. So you're right in the middle of the channel, and other than the only thing you can do is just start flashing the light at the outside of the bridge, so that people know that you are there. Of course, other ships will be able to see that you are there because you can see on the radar. Okay, but that was one scary moment. You are in Port Klang, all the ships coming in and out. You are basically suddenly blackout, and then the genset doesn't kick in. So luckily that our communication equipment has its own DC power supply. So you just make a emergency broadcast to the other vessels to stay clear from you. Okay. Right. Bagaimanakah cara untuk melepaskan sauh? Drop anchor in a normal situation dalam dalaman yang lebih kurang 20 meter. Okay. First thing, how many shackles to drop first? As a general rule, how do you know how many shackles to drop?
Kedalaman kali 2 campur 90.
Okay, itu boleh, but you want very fast, you want to calculate, look at the depth, kedalaman air, you darab 5, roughly the 5 times the depth should be the length of the anchor, kalau you nak cepat. Right, if you want a quick estimation, let's say 20 meter, right, so 5 times the depth is 100 meters. 100 meters, how many shackles? Roughly about 5 shackles.
5 shekels.
Okay, roughly about 5 shackles. So you know, you can estimate already. In bad weather condition, angin kuat, ombak tinggi and all that,
Double up.
add on the shackles, okay, so that you get better holding power. All right. Right. So what is the process? Each ship has its own anchor, type of anchor, but in general, kalau kapal tu ada jenis yang ada, it has a windlass and all that. Normally what you do, windlass ada, gear ada, brake ada. Normally you release all the lashing, engage the gear, start the power, and lower the anchor just above the water level dulu. Okay, wind under power. Lepas tu, what happens is that put the brakes on, okay, then remove the windlass. Okay, disconnect the gear. Once you disconnect, bila you buka the brake, okay, the anchor will drop. And then of course, when you see enough already, you have to slowly tighten up the anchor to get the appropriate, dapatkan kedalaman yang sepatutnya. How many shackles you want to let go. Okay. Right, in order to identify how many shackles, this is the joining shackle. You will be able, kamu boleh tahu mana satu joining shackle sebab dia tebal sikit, terutamanya kat bahagian tengah ni. So then you will have shackles that are marked
What color?
and painted. Normally they paint red ataupun white, siap dengan ada wire kat sana. Okay. So if you see 3
So circle.
cables here that is colored as white, okay, right? So that means it's 3 shackles. Okay, appropriately. Right, secara amnya berapa kabel atau rantai anchor yang perlu dilepaskan? Just now I mentioned, if you want quickly to estimation is 5. Otherwise you can use the formula. Bagaimanakah rantai ataupun anchor chain ditanda dengan menunjukkan berapa kabel? Also just now I explained. Apakah kegunaan channel 16 dan berapakah anggaran jarak kegunaan VHF? Channel 16 is only for calling and emergency purpose. Bila nak bercakap, switch to other channels. Bila you nak tukar ke channel lain, pastikan channel tu tidak digunakan oleh contohnya port control ataupun port operations yang berhampiran. Move to another channel. Okay. Roughly VHF, your coverage area dalam keadaan weather condition yang bagus, you can provide if the antenna is high enough. Optimum would be somewhere between optimum reception of that would be something like 12 nautical mile. Apakah perbezaan antara isyarat kecemasan Mayday, security and pen-pen? Mayday dulu.
Thinking kalau dah sangat bahaya, jadi
Distress.
Distress, situation yang mana mungkin boleh mengakibatkan some harm to people or property, life people are the same thing, property and also environment, and you require, this is the keyword, kata kunci dia, kamu perlukan bantuan segera, you require immediate assistance. So this is the keyword here.
Ya, dah tutup mic. Buka aku.
Security ni kira juga ada yang menggugat keadaan nyawa dan sebagainya, tapi it is not of an urgent nature. Contohnya man overboard. Man overboard ni subjective. Sometimes some people say, yeah, man overboard can be a distress signal. Can you call out a distress signal for Mayday? Yes, you can. Kalau orang tu jatuh dekat tempat yang mana banyak kapal tengah lalu lalang, is it going to affect his life? Can it affect his life? So you may basically use to indicate that untuk kapal lain tahu bahawa ada orang kat dalam air tu, so everybody should keep clear. If kalau kawasan yang luas tak ada kapal berhampiran, somebody fall down, then you don't need lah pakai Mayday. You boleh pakai security. That's normally lah for man overboard. This is the appropriate lah. Unless really you find that it's going to affect his life and all that, maybe can use. Tapi untuk man overboard biasanya dia pergi untuk security. Just now dalam keadaan I mentioned just now, in the channel blackout, lepas tu emergency genset tak boleh start, you got no power supply whatsoever. Which one you want to use?
Secure right.
Security.
Secure.
Okay. So if there is any information relating to the weather and navigational hazard and all that, normally you'll go for pen-pen. 3 levels. So highest, second highest, third one. Okay. The information about storms and all that, normally they make an announcement with the prefix of pen-pen. Dia gunakan isyarat pen-pen sebagai permulaan dia, prefix dia. Namakan 5 jenis isyarat yang boleh digunakan untuk menunjukkan yang kapal berada dalam kecemasan. Banyak tu. I think the other day, there's more than 10 lah. Termasuk pyrotechnics, termasuk BHF, perkataan Mayday, termasuk digital select calling. 70, tekan butang dia. Termasuk apa lagi? Hidupkan api atas deck, boleh?
Boleh.
Tapi hati-hati in a contained environment. Contohnya tong drum dan sebagainya. Of course, janganlah buat kalau kamu atas kapal tanker. Okay. Look at the situation whether it's appropriate. Okay. There's various syarat, termasuk pyrotechnics, all the rocket parachute flare and all that. Apakah fungsi alat-alat navigasi GPS, AIS dan echo sounder? Okay, I mentioned the other day already. Penerangan tentang 3 alat ni. Okay. Also tentang AIS lah. Ini adalah sesuatu yang baru lah. I don't think they will ask you, but just so that you know, sekarang ni AIS ni juga digunakan dalam search and rescue. Macam mana digunakan dalam search and rescue? Via AIS lah. The transponder. Okay. Search and rescue transponder. Okay. Okay, next. Namakan peralatan cara peralatan penyelamatkan diri serta melawan kebakaran yang perlu ada di atas sebuah kapal domestik. Ini pun panjang jawapan dia ni. You need LSA and FFA. You can start with kalau LSA you start dengan life jacket, pergi kepada life buoy, pergi kepada life raft and the other equipment. Firefighting you start with you fight with smoke detector, lepas tu pergi kepada fire extinguisher, hose, okay, DA set, fireman outfit, fixed fire emergency system. So all that thing you can, apa yang perlu ada untuk. Okay. Namakan perundangan kapalan yang melibatkan pencemaran dari kapal.
Mapol.
Okay, mapol. Okay. Apakah annex dalam perundangan pencemaran dari kapal? 6 You got 6? Boleh ingat semua tak?
Ingat 3 je.
Satu pun tak ingat lah, bos.
Okay. 1 is oil, annex 1 adalah oil, minyak.
Bukan 145, 145.
Sekejap, biar saya akan lagi senang. Okay, so mapol, annex 1,
Oil pollution.
pollution. Okay. Annex 2, chemical. Okay. Annex 3 adalah harmful substance in package. Ini lebih kepada IMDG ni, International Maritime Dangerous Goods. Okay, just for your knowledge, right? 4 is sewage. Okay, benda-benda yang keluar daripada kamu punya bilik air tu, toilet tu. Okay, next 5, garbage. And the last one yang banyak kita beri tumpuan sekarang adalah annex 6. Kenapa? Sebab air pollution. Okay. Air pollution is dapat banyak perhatian sekarang ni disebabkan keadaan cuaca yang tak menentu. Kita pun terlibat sama. Okay. We are contributing towards all this dengan bahan pembakaran yang kita gunakan atas kapal tu. So they're looking at, kalau you tengok most of the oil major kan, mereka they are targeting 0 net carbon by 2050. Okay. Tapi macam mana kita nak 0 net carbon ni? We are basically destroying the environment. Tepang sini, tepang sana, gunakan alat-alat minyak jenis the traditional one, using factories with coal and all that. Okay. So 2050 is just 30 years down the road. Can we achieve it? It's going to be difficult. right? Apa? In Malaysia, we don't have enough, kita tak cukup kesedaran tentang masalah pencemaran ni. Bila kena banjir macam tu and all that, like the other day, baru kita, kenapa benda ni boleh berlaku? Then orang baru nak tahu tentang greenhouse gases, ozone layer and all that. So on the ship, sekarang ni, we are trying to minimize the amount of dirty fuel that we are burning to the environment untuk nak kurangkan efek greenhouse gases dan rosaknya ozone layer kita ataupun makin tipis ozone layer kita. Okay. Next question.
Cap, sorry, can I interject a bit?
Ahead.
Yeah. Okay, regarding the MAPO ni, just in case you are asked this question, then at least you can elaborate sikit. Kalau macam Annex 1 mengenai minyak, just talk katakan peralatan yang digunakan untuk mencegah ni adalah oily water separator, then the content of minyak yang boleh dikeluarkan maybe 15 ppm 15. Kalau you elaborate sikit, then Annex 4 mengenai sewage tu, kita ada sewage treatment plant, ya. Then Annex 5 using incinerator lah. Kalau ditanya how can you discharge this, the waste sekarang normally they don't discharge until when the ship reach the shore punya facilities, then dia dikeluarkan dan discharge to the shore facilities. You are not allowed to discharge this like the sewage, the garbage, you know, after you burn, you tidak boleh buang di dalam laut lah. Yeah. You discharge it using the shore facilities. Okay.
So we just to remember 1, 4, and 5, all 6.
That will be more relevant, and like Captain Kenneth was mentioning just now the trend is towards also Annex 6 because of the pencemaran udara lah. I mean, you don't need to know in detail, but at least you are aware that Annex 6, yes, is about air pollution, and you want to reduce the carbon and content and all this. You can mention that lah. Yeah.
So from the note, we only have 1.
Yeah, you're on the note, but at least you are aware about that. Yes.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay. Dalam note tu 1, 2 and 5 is because we ratify already. Tapi 6 also is now under ratification. Kita ratify. Okay. Reason being all these environment issues, and of course kapal kita sekarang ni they are being told that as far as practicable, menjimatkan kurangkan pembakaran di atas kapal. And if you are wondering how can we do this on board ship, just the knowledge lah. Whatever electricity you're using and all that is basically you're burning fuel, betul tak?
Yes.
Okay, so even the electricity that you use on board, kalau orang suruh you, okay, kalau tak pakai lampu tu, padamlah, switch off the light in the cabin. Some of them will probably ask you, mana ada bil elektrik? Kalau kita on ke, off ke, bukannya ada bil elektrik atas kapal. Why do we need to switch off the light? This is the reason. Okay. Bila kita nak jalan bila kita nak contohnya jalan daripada satu tempat ke tempat yang lain. Now, dulu dia kata, okay, sampai dekat pelabuhan tu secepat yang mungkin. Kalau nak cepat, kita kena laju. Betul tak? Kalau nak laju, kena lebih.
Ya.
Kena lebih.
Ya.
Pembakaran minyak. Okay. Lebih minyak yang dibakar, lebih pencemaran. So now, if let's say kalau you tengok undang-undang sekarang, they said not at your maximum speed, tapi at your optimum speed. Apa perbezaan tu?
Kalau dalam kereta tu yang itulah, yang tanda hijau tu dia kata
econ mode. Tahu econ mode? So, kalau katakan let's say you nak pergi daripada A ke B kan. Okay, orang dah bagi tahu you, okay, you sampai kat sini pun you mungkin kena anchor 2-3 hari. So why do we need to speed all the way, nak cepat mungkin nak pergi kat sana? Kecuali kalau of course lah kru taklah nak pergi turun darat kan. But optimum speed means that if you arrive at full speed, you still got 2 days time at anchorage ke apa. Instead of going full speed, mungkin you go at optimum speed, burn less fuel, supaya apabila kamu sampai sana, tak perlu kamu tunggu untuk pilot ke siapa bawa masuk kapal tu dalam pelabuhan. So before it was full speed ahead, sekarang ni is optimum speed ahead for the purpose of reducing air pollution. Okay. Alright, apakah kandungan ordinan perkapalan Malaysia? Semua undang-undang berkaitan dengan kapal, kru, keselamatan, okay, lesen dan sebagainya is in this ordinance. Okay. And ordinance, perbezaan antara ordinance dengan convention, apa perbezaan dia? Convention is contohnya the International Convention for the Safety or Life of Life at Sea ataupun SOLAS. This is convention. Ordinance adalah seperti Ordinance Perkapalan Saudagar 1952 seperti dipinda as amended. This is law. Okay. This is just a requirement. Ini hanya keperluan saja. Yang ni adalah undang-undang. So kalau yang ni, kalau kita tak penuhi yang ni, paling-paling kapal tak boleh berlayar je. So it's only pesan komersial ke atas seseorang pemilik kapal. Yang ini kalau kita tak penuhi ataupun kita buat sesuatu kesalahan, dia boleh menyebabkan kadang-kadang ada denda, kadang-kadang ada ada hukuman penjara, dan kadang-kadang ada kedua-duanya sekali. So makan tidur semua free. This is especially relevant sekarang ni untuk captain lah, untuk master dan sebagainya. Sebab dah ada kes-kes lah, dia orang penjara kan, dia orang tangkap, dakwa dan penjarakan captain disebabkan kesalahan yang mana menyebabkan sama ada kehilangan nyawa ataupun pencemaran yang agak serius, dan juga disebabkan kapal tenggelam dan sebagainya. So now it's more the responsibility ataupun tanggungjawab adalah lebih sekarang ni kepada master dan chief engineer. Right, next question. Sesebuah bot di bawah 500 tan memerlukan lesen bot untuk tujuan. Hari tu I buat the last day.
Banyak tu tujuan tu dalam list tu.
Apa list? Contohnya?
Persiaran, penumpang.
Bukan. Itu kegiatan. Sekarang ni tujuan dia.
Oh, tujuan.
Kenapa kita perlukan lesen tu? Kerana kita kena ikut keperluan undang-undang satu. Kedua, kita nak pastikan bahawa untuk nak dapatkan perlindungan insurans, bot tu terpaksa ada lesen yang sepatutnya. Okay. So this is the reason kenapa you nak ada lesen bot. Apakah yang dimaksudkan dengan Sumatras? Ini Kapten Ravi yang buat hari itu kan?
Angin perubahan. Angin transisi.
Dia sebuah fenomena yang agak unik yang berlaku dekat Selat Melaka, biasanya bermula dekat kawasan Sumatera. Dekat Brunei pun, Brunei dan kawasan Sabah pun ada mereka panggil Sumatera, tapi the origin ataupun dia punya permulaan namanya adalah datang daripada Selat Melaka ni. Ini adalah fenomena di awal pagi, di mana tiba-tiba akan berlaku keadaan di mana angin kuat, hujan lebat, pemandangan akan ada visibility akan ada terkesan, yang akan menyebabkan ada ombak sikit, tapi berlaku hanya selama beberapa jam saja. Okay.
Dapat peluang macam ni, goreng semua macam tu Cap
Sewaktu musim peralihan. Musim peralihan bila?
Januari.
Mac hingga Mei.
March to October.
Mac hingga Mei dan juga Ogos hingga Oktober. Okay, itu adalah musim peralihan. Okay. Namakan arah angin utama di Selat Melaka. Ada dua je.
Barat Daya
dan Timur Laut.
Timur
North East, remember this. North East, South West. Okay. Dua je. This is November to February. Ni yang kita katakan sebagai musim tengkujuh ni. And then of course this one is May to September. Sorry, May to July. May to July, November, December, January, February. May to August. Sometimes August, sometimes July. Okay. Right, ini adalah Southwest and that one is Northeast. Bilakah musim-musim peralihan tadi saya sebut dah? Apakah yang dimasukkan dengan master station? Okay, keselamatan pula sekarang.
Tempat berkumpul.
Tempat berkumpul sewaktu
Kecemasan.
syarat kecemasan kapal diberikan. This is the master station. Master station ni maklumat berkaitan dengan master station ni biasanya akan ada dalam master list. Okay, the master list of the ship. Okay, apakah isyarat kecemasan di atas kapal bagi memanggil semua anak kapal berkumpul? General emergency alarm. Normally apa dia bagi? Okay, ingat ni ya, sekurang-kurangnya, kurang-kurang 7 bunyian pendek diikuti dengan 1 bunyi panjang. So bunyi pendek tu boleh 7, boleh 8, boleh 9, tak kira, tapi sekurang-kurangnya 7. Okay, dan last sekali diikuti dengan 1 bunyian panjang. This is what they call as syarat kecemasan am kapal. Ataupun general alarm. Okay. Right, setakat ni okay? 40 dah?
Okay.
Alright, good.
Can you repeat again the master station?
Mhm.
What's the meaning of master station again?
When you have an emergency,
Hmm.
okay, when you have an emergency, the alarm is sounded. Okay, this one, the 7 short and 1 long, at least 7 short and 1 long blast. When the general alarm is sounded, everybody is supposed to grab their life jacket, okay, and proceed to an area where they are supposed to gather. In buildings and in factories and all that, they call it as the assembly area or assembly station. On board the ship, we call it as the master station.
Okay.
Ya. Sama macam kalau dekat bangunan ataupun dekat kilang-kilang, kalau dalam kecemasan, kerja dia diperlukan untuk pergi ke kawasan berkumpul. Itulah kita punya kawasan berkumpul. Kita panggilkan sebagai master station.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. Okay. Ni this one simple lah. Perbezaan antara life jacket dan life buoy. Okay, life jacket is basically for you to put on. Life buoy is something which you pass on to somebody yang kat dalam air, yang untuk mereka berpaut sekiranya jatuh laut dan sebagainya. Okay. Apakah fungsi HRU pada life raft? Ada ni, hari tu buat. Ada buat tak ini? Ada. Okay, sekejap. Let me just stop this for a while. Untuk mempermudahkan kepahaman. You will still be doing this nanti lah secara praktikal. Okay, just confirm yang you boleh dengar ni ya, dan tengok video dia. Okay. And see. Okay. Okay. Can you hear?
What's going on? Can you reply?
The White Hamar H20 strong rope is secured to the deck or cradle and attached to the life raft lashing with a manual release hook. The life raft painter line is shackled to the red weak link connector. When the ship sinks, the water pressure within 4 meters will activate the sharp knife, which cuts the strong rope, and the life raft will float free. As the ship sinks, the life raft painter line will be stretched, and the life raft will start to inflate. The increased buoyancy of the inflated life raft will cause the red weak link to break, and the life raft will surface. Survivors can now board the inflated life raft.
Okay, that's a HRU. HRU tu yang benda kuning tu. Okay, hydrostatic release unit. That means if you have that on board, kalau kapal tenggelam pun, you tak sempat nak lepaskan life raft tu, the hydrostatic release unit will let go of the life raft for you. Okay. Right. Forty-three. Namakan alat-alat pemadam api di atas kapal dan apakah warna yang biasa digunakan pada balang tersebut. Nowadays everything is
Orange.
red in color. And then on the extinguisher, they will indicate whether CO2, foam, dry powder or water. Okay. But before they had color coding untuk extinguisher, they had 4 types of color coding, which is black was for CO2, hitam CO2, okay. Cream ataupun yellow adalah untuk foam, kuning, right? Blue ataupun biru adalah dry powder, and then red was water. Okay. So kalau you nampak color-color macam ni atas extinguisher, okay, that means that's the old color coding punya extinguisher. Yang baru semua dia letak merah, lepas tu dia letak under a description what type of extinguisher those are. Okay. Right. Namakan berapa alat pencegahan pencemaran yang harus ada di atas kapal. Jimmy just mention. Okay. Alat-alat pencegahan pencemaran seperti dalam apa yang ada dalam kapal seperti oily water separator dan sebagainya. Untuk kapal-kapal yang besar kerana mereka ada oil spill ataupun oil pollution kit yang mana mereka gunakan sekiranya berlaku suatu kecemasan. Contohnya, sawdust, shovel, oil spill dispersant, what do you call it? The absorbent pad and also absorbent boom. Absorbent boom tu kira untuk yang kapal besar. Absorbent pad tu kalau ada, that one is to remove maybe pollution on board on your deck. So it absorbs the oil kalau if there is any pollution. Okay, namakan jenis awan yang biasa ditemui. Low, medium and high clouds. Low dulu.
Cumulus.
Cumulus, yang biasa kita tengok sekarang ni, cumulus. Medium.
Cirrus.
Cirrus is high.
Oh,
High clouds. Nimbo ones are medium.
Nimbus.
Cirrus, cirrus stratus and all that are high clouds. Okay. Which one will indicate bad weather?
Cumulus.
Cumulonimbus.
Oh, cumulus.
Akan menandakan besar kemungkinan cuaca buruk. Right? Of course, the color also plays a role. Kalau you see dark clouds, that's basically an indication yang cuaca buruk akan dapat approaching bad weather. Namakan ramalan keadaan cuaca yang boleh dapati melalui berapa cara. Maklumat ramalan cuaca boleh dapat melalui berapa cara. Namakan sekurang-kurangnya 3. Navtex, okay. Navigation telex. Secondly, you can go to the what do you call it, information provided by Jabatan Meteorologi, ataupun sometimes berita pun boleh lah. You can even get it from the news. Okay. On the bigger ship, dia ada weather facts. Tapi kapal kecil biasanya tak ada weather facts unless you install it to your ship. Okay, namakan jenis tali tambatan yang digunakan untuk sandar di pelabuhan. Okay. This is a ship. Ini adalah kapal. Okay. Ini adalah jeti. Okay. Sekarang katakan ada tali-tali dia dah dilepaskan. What is this? What is this? What is this? Same thing kat belakang. Okay, depan ni. Depan ni dipanggil apa?
Line, breast line, stern line.
Okay. HL stands for headline. BL stands for forward breast line. FS stands for forward spring. SL stands for stern line. BL stands for aft breast line. AS stands for aft spring. Okay. What does this mean? Kalau disebut tie up 2 plus 2 plus 2. Forward and aft. Apa maksud dia? 2 campur 2 campur 2. 6. Maksudnya, kat depan 2 headline, kat belakang 2 stern line. Depan 2 breast line, kat belakang 2 breast line. Lepas tu forward spring 2, aft spring 2. Okay. Kalau terminologi dia sebut cuma, okay, just tie up 2 plus 2.
Headline dengan Brush line saja.
Yes. So kalau dua je dia sebut macam ni, maksudnya ni tak ada. Tak perlu. Brush line tak perlu. Okay. Dalam nak tentukan berapa tali kamu nak lepaskan, nak ikat dekat jeti tu, you have to look at beberapa keadaan, situasi. Contohnya, berapa besar saiz kamu, kapal kamu, berapa besar tali yang kamu gunakan, apakah keadaan cuaca dia dan sebagainya. Okay. Tapi kapal-kapal kecil, I tengok mostly is either 2 + 1 + 1 ataupun 1 + 1 + 1. Okay. All the smaller ship lah. Okay. I have done, believe it or not, dulu waktu keadaan cuaca yang buruk, I have done sometimes up to 6 + 3 + 3 ataupun 6 + 3 + 2. Tali pun tak cukup, kena double up. Pergi sana, tarik, bawa tali ke depan balik. Lalu dia punya bola, bagi hantar balik. So just imagine the mooring lines you nak aturkan kalau 6 + 3 + 2. 11 depan, 11 belakang. Altogether 22. That's during typhoon condition. Next. Apakah kegunaan emergency generator ataupun emergency battery? Just now we mentioned that during blackout. Apakah perbezaan antara draft dan juga air draft? This is the water level. Okay. Ini adalah you punya mass. Okay, this is the highest point. Okay. So this one is draft. This one adalah air draft. Apa kita perlu tahu air draft ni? Draft okey lah, kita nak tahu supaya tak terkantas. Tapi kenapa kita perlu juga tahu air draft?
Hak kelegaan jambatan ataupun
jambatan, I think it was 30 ataupun 30 tahun yang lepas, 30 lebih tahun yang lepas. Dekat Singapura tu ada barge yang bawa crane kan. So what happened was that mereka silap dalam kalkulasi berapa tinggi crane tu, okay, and they gave the wrong information to the Singapore punya authorities. Singapore kan ada cable car kan. So crane tu lalu dekat kawasan cable car. Mereka tak sedar bahawa dia punya crane tu berada pada tahap yang lebih tinggi daripada cable car tu. Dia langgar cable car tu. Okay. Terus kabel tu. Lepas tu kabel kereta-kereta yang cable car yang ada kat situ fell actually down and created cause ramai juga yang mati. So after that Singapore very strict tentang maklumat air draft kamu tu. Especially kalau kamu nak masuk dekat kawasan-kawasan yang mana ada cable car tu. So tempat-tempat lain pun sama juga, ada kes-kes di mana wrong calculation of the air draft. Okay, bila nak masuk kawasan jambatan, dia hentam jambatan tu, break semua habis, pecah. Okay, so that's why the air draft, kita perlu tahu air draft tu. Okay. Last one, apakah perbezaan had pelayaran domestik dan pesisiran pantainya coastal?
Domestik
Kalau dia tanya, tak nak you sesat pergi kat Brunei ke mana, Singapura ke mana.
Domestik hanyalah sempadan sovereign sesebuah negara. Dan near coastal hanya yang
near coastal, kita punya Malaysia punya near coastal is the limitation is to the north is until Vietnam. Okay, dekat sebelah timur is up to Luzon di Kepulauan Filipin. Sebelah barat dia adalah Myanmar. Okay. Sebelah selatan adalah Papua New Guinea. So near coastal ni boleh keluar daripada Malaysia Tapi hanya di dalam lingkungan kawasan ni je. Boleh lebih daripada tu. This is your near coastal untuk Malaysia. You can only go within this area. You cannot go out of this Vietnam, Myanmar and all that. You cannot go beyond that. Itu you perlukan unlimited punya license. And unlimited punya sijil kapal. Okay. Safe manning. So you will know sama ada kapal tu domestic ataupun near coastal ataupun limited. Maklumat tu ada dalam satu dokumen kapal dipanggil Safe Manning Certificate. Okay. Belakang sijil tu, near coastal, they will tell you what is your limitation. Mana kamu boleh pergi. Of course, dekat sijil tu dia bagi latitude dan longitude. Tapi kalau kamu sambung all the dots of the latitude and longitude, you will get this limitation there. Among all the those countries there.
So near coastal bukan inshore near coastal lain, inshore lain Just nak pastikan.
Inshore no, inshore is inside of close by to the land. Near coastal means you can go, boleh keluar outside of Malaysia, tapi ada limitation dia.
Alright.
You can go outside of Malaysia. So nak pergi Singapore, nak pergi Brunei, Thailand, nak pergi contohnya Vietnam, Myanmar, okay, you want to go to Indonesia, all allowed in near coastal. Kalau nak pergi Papua New Guinea pun boleh. Orang juga Papua New Guinea. If you're wondering kenapa kita kapal pergi Papua New Guinea, ada sebab apa? Sebab balak dekat Malaysia dah nak habis, sudah pergi cari tempat lain pula.
That one is sorry. That one is pesisiran pantai. Domestic means between the pelabuhan.
Domestic means your port of departure and port of arrival should be a Malaysian port without stopping anywhere outside of Malaysia.
Domestic,
That's domestic.
Okay.
Can you go out to open sea in your EEZ with domestic? You can, because you are not going into anybody's country. Okay, but when you come back, you still have to come back to your Malaysian port.
Okay, domestic port and of course near coastal means no man's land.
Near coastal, no, you can go to outside. You can go to countries outside of Malaysia. Only thing, it's limited to all those areas which I mentioned. Like you can go up to Vietnam to the north, Papua New Guinea on the south, Luzon, okay, on the east, and also Myanmar on the west. Okay. That's why a lot of the offshore vessels they use near coastal certification. All right. Any question?
Now the appointment for the with the Jabatan Laut is 27 and 28 Thursday and Friday, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow we should be able to get the schedule, and sekali bila dapat jadual, we will give to everybody. Right? I would suggest so that there's no surprises like the previous batch. Once you get the schedule, okay, look at the schedule and be at the Marine Department office early. Sometimes they want to do it fast. They may take more than one person at a time. So just try to be there early. Not only for the purpose of standing by in case kalau the other guys who finish, okay, when they finish, immediately you can get the question from them. So they won't run. The question won't run off one. If the examiner asks that within the first 2 or 3 candidates, when they already asked, right, that's going to be the same question for the rest of the candidates. They won't go beyond that. Normally, they won't go beyond that really. So first 2, 3 candidates, you already know. After the first 2, 3 candidates, you know what the question is going to be.
So the possibility of 2 or 3 of us are going together.
Yes, might happen. Might happen. Yeah. So that's why I say come early.
So kalau boleh 1 kelas masuk pun boleh.
The other day, maximum 3. When they did the other day for us in KK, they allowed for 3.
Previously, Cap, dia orang cakap ada masuk dalam bilik gelap dan identify ships by the lights. Ada lagi?
No more. They don't do that now.
Okay.
Dia tak gunakan sebab apa? In your medical punya check-up, okay, for the Marine Department medical cert, they put you through the eyesight test.
Yalah,
Ah.
masa pergi jumpa doktor, dia buatlah benda tu.
Yeah. That one dulu dia tunjuk, dia masukkan dalam bilik gelap, dia tunjukkan lampu, is for your eyesight test.
Oh, I see.
Sekarang dia tak buat sebab apa? Dalam pemeriksaan medical, they do it for you. And they are more expert lah. They should know better whether you're colorblind or not, rather than us, rather than the Marine Department.
Tapi mungkin dia letakkan biji-biji atas biji-biji hijau, merah dan putih atas board dan suruh kita beritahu.
Yes, that one
tentang-
yes. That one yes. Yeah, that one yes. That's ROR.
ROR akan buat.
The one that you're talking about yang dulu tu adalah untuk check sama ada mata kita boleh bezakan antara putih, kuning, merah dan hijau.
Okay.
And it's not only untuk orang tech tau, untuk engine pun, untuk engineer pun perlu ada. Sebab dia orang kena tahu camkan dia punya piping system tu dalam engine room.
Okay.
Jangan dia piping tu tunjuk warna coklat, dia ingat warna hitam. Tunjuk warna merah, dia ingat warna kuning ke apa. So even the engineers need to have that eyesight, proper eyesight test.
Tapi ROR now dia letak atas board lah, biji-biji merah.
The ROR dia probably. They ada boy juga. They have the boys also. They will show you the boys and then you tell them what the boys are. Okay guys, any questions? Ada lagi?
Soalannya akan post dalam kita punya group kan supaya kita boleh ulang-ulang kan sendiri.
Bukan dah email lah tu hari tu?
Dah. Okay.
Dah
email lah. Just check in the email.
All the 50, okay.
Email or in the group? Jimmy?
WhatsApp.
In the WhatsApp group, yeah. Just do it again. Just repeat again so that they will know. Okay, nanti after this, once they the Zoom converts the video, I will then forward to Jimmy to forward
YouTube. Yeah.
So you boleh tengok lagi sekali this video untuk dapatkan just to refresh yourself, and also for those who are not here. I think some are probably at sea now kan. Kerja. Just now I saw a few more, tapi tiba-tiba ada yang hilang tadi. Okay. Alright guys, so I'll see you on the 27th, most likely, unless something really urgent comes out, saya akan ada kat Jabatan Laut Melaka. Okay, I'll be there.
Oral tu 2 hari ke 1 hari?
Mengikut jadual 2 hari, tapi hanya untuk sebagai panduan baik kita standby untuk datang pada hari pertama. Sebab mungkin mereka nak cepat habis. Kalau dia boleh selesaikan semua pada hari pertama, mungkin dia akan cuba. Kalau tidak, nanti dia akan sambung untuk hari kedua. Bergantung kepada berapa pemeriksa yang datang.
2 hari cuti tu kan?
Ya?
2 hari cuti tu.
Biasanya dia start pukul berapa, bos?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock. Normally they start the schedule at
7:30 patut dari sana lah.
Right. Go and have breakfast dulu, pergi kena roti canai ke apa kan. And after that, standby.
Roti canai, nasi lemak.
Roti canai, nasi lemak.
Lontong, semua sana.
Pergi apa? That place is nice because you come early in the morning. Okay. You want to calm yourself down, just look at the sea. Just across the road is the sea. So senang nak tenangkan fikiran sebelum orang.
Boleh revise boys pun kali.
Boleh revise lagi. Okay guys. Yeah. Okay guys, we'll see you in a few days time. So, kalau ada apa-apa soalan lagi, just letak dalam group nanti, kita akan cuba jawab.
Okay, thanks guys.
Alright.
Alright,
Thank you.
All the best.
Guys. Alright, see you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.